What's up, everybody? This is T from T-Dubb BBQ, and welcome to my channel. Today we're doing a chuck roast, but we're doing it brisket style. Now, you may be saying a chuck roast doesn't have a flat or a point or a lean side and a fatty side, but if you smoke it low and slow, you create similar results. So what I'm going to show you is how to turn your grill into a smoker, what seasonings I like to use, and how you can have a brisket-like experience for a fraction of the cost. So remember to like, subscribe, and share, and let's get to it. All right, so here we have an Angus chuck roast with some pretty good marbling. Got this from Sam's Club. This is at $7.47 a pound, so a little over 2.5 pounds, 19.80. Unless you're cooking for a large crowd or you're doing some sort of catering, this will be your best option as far as value. And I'm gonna tell you, smoking a chuck roast is just as flavorful, just as tasteful if you do it right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this cleaned off and get it out the pack, and we'll go from there. All right, so we got it out, rinsed off. Man, I'm not even going to trim this. I'm gonna leave everything as there's some silver skin here. I'm not even gonna worry about that. You can cut that off. It's really minimal on here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some Worcestershire sauce and use that as a binder. You really don't need to use a binder, especially if you rinsed it off because the meat is still gonna be wet. But I'm gonna use some anyway. Get that on the sides as well. And then I'll cover the other end. But I just got some already made salt, pepper, and garlic mix with a little bit of onion powder in here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and use that. Get it nice and seasoned up. Pat that in there. And I'm also going to come across with this rub. You've seen me use this before. This coffee and garlic rub from Trader Joe's. It's really good. Oh my gosh. It's really good. All right, so I'm gonna get the sides done and the presentation side done, and I'll see you guys outside. All right, so we're holding steady at about 240. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this on. I got the water pan down there, and today I'm using some pecan and post oak wood chunks. So we're gonna get this chuck roast on here. Make sure we push it together. Okay, so I'm gonna let this run for about 2.5 hours before I even check it. You're gonna get your smoke from the wood here, and I'm gonna put this lid down. I have the vents about a fourth of a way open, and that way smoke coming from here goes across the meat and goes out. Below I have it set on the second dot, the second setting, and you can pretty much control your temperatures. Man, I've done both. I've had the bottom vent wide open and only control from the top. I've had the top wide open, control from the bottom, but it's all a preference thing. Do what works for you. Today, what I'm doing is, like I said, I have the bottom vent on the second opening, and then I have it a fourth away on the top. So get this going for about, like I said, about 2.5 hours before I even take a look at it. And then after that, we're just gonna open it up and see what it looks like. All right, so it's been about 2 hours. I'll take a look at this. Oh yeah, it's looking good. I'm not going to spritz it just yet. Um, I can tell by looking at it that the bark is not set, so I don't want to go spritzing and then all of the seasoning come off. So I'm gonna let it go a little while before I spritz it. I may not have to spritz it at all, but we'll see when we get there. The fire's looking good over here. I'm almost halfway through my pile, so this should last me to the end of the cook. If not, then I'll just add some more from this end and let it catch this way. But yeah, man, just gonna let this roll for another hour or so and check it out. All right, so it's been about another 30 minutes or so, and it's looking good. I did turn it around after the last time I recorded, but yeah, that bark is set. So I'm just going to hit it with a little spritz, and this is Worcestershire and water. Probably, I don't know if I'm a wrap yet. We'll see how it looks in about another hour or so, but we'll pretty much go from there. All right, so it's been about 30, 45 minutes. Take a look at it. Still looking good. Give it a little spritz. So let's see what this internal temperature is. All right, so it's about 150. So I have hit a stall. So I'm gonna just let that run for a while. Probably about another hour and a half. I may do a boat. We'll see how things look, but the next time you see me, guys, it'll be time to slice into this bad boy. I'm not going to keep you all with these checks because low and slow could be a long, boring process. So next time I see y'all, I'll be inside, ready to slice. All right, so I did foil boat it, but I wrapped it to rest. And it's been resting for about an hour. And we're going to cut in the middle. I don't know if you can see from there, but it is as tender. Oh yeah, this cut's pretty good. Give it a little taste. That's pretty good. Wow. Nice flavor. If you can see that. I would definitely recommend this. If you're trying to have that brisket like feel for a lot less for a smaller crowd, I recommend chuck roast. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next cook.